Hi. So I already recorded the intro to this episode, but I have some news that I'm tacking on to the beginning of this uh, because I don't want to go in and re-record that whole intro again. I'm very, very lazy at podcasting. If you, my loyal listener, hasn't determined this, probably all of the mango White Castle that I'm not drinking when I work on this. So there's been news in the wet leg world since I recorded this. So you're going to hear an interview with Rhian Teasdale of Wet Leg. She hints at US tour dates as well as a new single in the podcast. And I was getting ready to pack this all up and ship it out to you, my loyal listener, into your eardrums. And then I got a press release with tour dates and a new single, which is going to premiere uh, September 28th, which is the day that this thing is going to go live. So we've got some December tour dates. They're going to be playing Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco. I don't have the venues in front of me, but I can assume they will be venues that music happens at, as is the thing. Uh, and also their latest single, Wet Dream, that is Wet Dream by the band Wet Leg. And here's a quick sample of that before we dig into the interview. And you'll also hear a couple of commercials before the interview because it's a podcast and podcasts have commercials. Anywho, crack open a Mango White Castle, enjoy the song, then enjoy me telling you to enjoy the show later. I was in your wet dream, driving in my car. What makes you think you're good enough to think about me when you're touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself? You climb onto the bonnet and you're licking the windscreen. I've never seen anything so obscene. Hi, welcome to season 3, episode 1 of How Did I Get Here? I guess. Yeah, so it looks like these things are going to be coming out again a little more erratically and shorter because I have a day job, and that means I have to record these on my lunch unless anyone wants to come on and do an episode on the weekend or in the evening. Yeah, it's the only podcast where the host says the word and is too lazy to edit it out. I hope you're okay with that. Anyways, today we've got Rhian Teasdale of the band Wet Leg. This band boggles my mind. Their rise to popularity has been fast, and as of recording, I am recording this intro on September 27th. They still have only unleashed one song into the world, and it's a bloody brilliant song. You may have already heard it. You probably, you know what? Let's hear a little bit of it, and then we'll get to the interview. So, how do you pronounce your name?
Rhian, how do you pronounce your name?
Dakin.
Dakin. Cool. Nice to meet you, Dakin.
Nice to meet you too.
Who's your cat?
Yeah, this is Ike. Ike wanted to be here for this. Uh, yeah, I've been working my day job all day and came in for a break to talk to you, and he pushed me down and said, I'm getting on your lap." So
That's so nice.
it is pretty lovely, um, and I'm glad you're okay with that. I was worried that you'd be like, "Oh, why is there a cat? That's so unprofessional."
I don't know who would be like that.
Yeah, so I don't know how much the publicist told you about this, but so this is for a podcast called How Did I Get Here, where I talk to you about your journey to where you are right now. Um, so my first question for everybody is the same question, and some people get mad at it, so hopefully you won't get mad. Um, but my question to you is, what was the musical experience that made you decide this is what you want to do?
I think so. When I was like, I was like 17, and I'd dropped out of my A levels, um, which I don't know what like the equivalent would be, but yeah, the like exams that you do when you're 17, 18 before you go to university. I dropped out of those and I worked in an ice cream shop. And you know, when you're that age and you're like, you don't really know what you're doing, you're like, ah. And then on the Isle of Wight, there was like this music college. And so I did a course in like pop music, basically, like commercial music instead of. So I did that instead of having to do my A levels. And that was like my first experience of playing music and like being in bands and um, yeah, I never really thought about it until I'd always liked singing and stuff, and I really liked music, but I never saw myself as being someone that was in a band. So I guess yeah, guess dropping out of A levels and making the switch to just solidly committing to music because it was fun. I guess that was when I was like, oh, okay, actually, really, this is really fun. I really want to do this.
I
Yeah.
love that. So if I'm understanding right, it means you decided you weren't going to go to post to, I guess, well, university. You're to continuing education after high school. Is high school the term in?
Yeah, it's still high school. It's
Okay.
the last years of high school before you go to university. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
so you decided you weren't going to go to university, and then you decided you wanted to still continue your education, and your education was rock and roll, essentially.
almost, you almost got it. Sorry, it's really confusing because like in the UK you can do all sorts of like different things. You can do like A levels and BTEC, and they're the same thing. They're the
Hmm.
thing before you go to university. So I did go to university and I did music, but then I dropped out
Ah,
because I'd had enough of like studying it. So um, yeah, it was like the last 2 years of normal school instead of doing normal school like before university. I did like a special music course.
excellent. So when did you decide to go from doing basically what people told you to do with music to starting your own project?
Um, when I was maybe like, I must have been about 18 or 19 when I don't know, people kept kicking me out of their bands. So I was, so, and I couldn't play anything. So then I started playing bits on piano and writing on piano. Um, like pretty simple, rubbish parts, but just enough to like sing to. So I was doing that for a bit, just on my own. And then I got really tired of being on my own, going to sound check on my own, driving myself to gigs on my own, all of this. I think, yeah, one of my last gigs doing solo stuff, I cried like the second song in, like hysterically, and didn't stop um, for about an hour. And that's when Hester started. So I still had some gigs booked doing the solo thing. And then my boyfriend at the time suggested that I ask Hester to come and like play with me and finish off these shows that I'd been booked for. Um, and and she said yes. So it wasn't even like in my like mind to think to ask her because like I don't know. I was like a bit scared of her. She was a bit scared of me. um, and then yeah, we played a few shows doing like the solo thing, and then I don't know. We just had like such a great time going around a few festivals together in the summer, watching loads of great music, um, and that's when I think we'd seen. I think it was after seeing Idols play at End of the Road Festival in 2018. It's 2018 because the poster's over there. Um, and yeah, after seeing them, I think we kind of like made a pact. I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn guitar now because like it looks fun. Um, and then yeah, and then we started Wet Leg just like as a bit of a joke and like a vow to like play guitar quite loudly.
Yeah, I do love that the band evolved from you crying during a show with and you sound like you were totally miserable, but I bet everybody there was like, this is the most intense thing ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't actually think anyone noticed.
I think that the only time I ever saw a
It
performer
was a short set.
cry on stage was a Beck show, and I found out that apparently his wife like filed divorce papers that afternoon.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was during nobody's fault but my own, so it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Wow.
yeah, that is lovely. All right, so we do need to talk about the name, Wet Leg. I told my partner the name of the band today, and she immediately cringed. Um, I have a
That
very,
is a
uh,
reaction.
yeah, I have a very dear friend of mine who loves the entire like Britpop canon, and is very much a fan of like Pulp and Arctic Monkeys and a lot of the bands that feel very like close to what Wet Leg are doing. And I sent him Shay Lange and said, "You're gonna love this song," and he said, "I can't listen to this. I can't get past the name."
Cool.
Has it been tough to sell yourselves with the grossest band name since Diarrhea Planet?
Wow, Diary of Planet. God, I wish we called our band that.
Well, it already
Um,
happened, so
that's amazing. No, I don't like. No, I haven't like because like when you say something so much, you don't even think about it anymore. So I don't even like it doesn't even mean anything anymore. I guess like there's so many weird band names that if you say them enough, then they're not. You just don't think about them. But I don't know. Yeah, I think people are either like sick or like what the fuck, and I think that's like a good place to be with like any art. Like not that like the name is like art, but like if you're making stuff, I think it's better for people to be like what or like oh that's brilliant. Like I think anywhere in the middle, that's where you don't want to be.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess if no matter what, it's memorable. Like it's hard. Like you hear the phrase "wet leg," and you can't really let it go.
it's also quite nice and like symmetrical when we thought about it. Like it has like two, so I don't know. It was just like just felt right. Just felt right, man.
It's easy to format for a t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So
That is
many possibilities.
lovely. So you, as of now, Shay Lange is the only song that the United States knows of you. Um,
Ooh.
and it was kind of beautiful when it came out to me because pandemic has been rough,
Yeah.
and it's the it's the first purely silly thing that just made me feel good and felt like I could like detach and just think, all right, people are still making art that's just kind of funny and not a reflection of the darkness of right now. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, has I don't really have a question there. I really just wanted to say thank you.
That's so nice. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty silly. And I think that's the thing. After crying at that gig, I think I vowed never to take myself seriously ever again.
I mean, it's working very well for you. Uh, and so but you're at a very early part in your career as wet leg. You're getting some very big, very awesome gigs in England right now, all on the strength of the single. What is the I guess what is your path now? Like what else? What are we going to, when are we going to hear more?
It's all downhill from here.
Ah, that's what I expected. No, kidding, kidding, kidding.
um, yeah, no, we've got some like really amazing support slots off the back of just this one single. We've even booked a couple of like very small capacity headline shows. Yeah, it's wild. Um, got our second single out very soon. Made a music video for it, so we're just like doing the final tweaks on that. Yeah, it's exciting. Ooh, that's scary.
I I can't wait personally because I want to hear what else is in what else is going to come out of your head. Um, yeah, it's also fascinating because realize so you probably didn't really tour pre-pandemic. What
Yeah,
like what is it like trying to like navigate keeping safe and keeping the rest of the band safe and still traveling around the country?
yeah. It's definitely something that we all have to be mindful of. With we've just been doing touring with this guy Declan McKenna and his band, and so it's kind of a shame because we can't hang out. So like we have to like be completely separate in our little bubbles. When we're at the venues, we have to wear our masks right up until we're playing, and then put them on straight after we come off. Um, but me and Hester are both double vaxxed. I think, yeah, most of the band have had their first vaccine. So I don't know how it is over there for you, but things are really, really opening up. But it is weird going into like, because I really want to like be able to come out and like watch watch like the like headlining bands set, but it just feels a bit wrong to be like in this big crowd. So you just kind of like there are like little setbacks like that that you do still have to be like a little bit careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I haven't. I've only been to two shows this year, and they're both kind of outdoors and masked and potted. And yeah, it's weird. Like things like I'm used to like bands going and like hanging out and like helping sell merch after the set's done, and that's just not really a thing.
Ah, I
Be-
went to see Chubby and the Gang last night, and I got this T-shirt.
oh, that is a great shirt.
It's really good, isn't it? They've got so many good ones. Happiness is being one of the gang. Yeah, they're very cool. But I think that's fine though. Like I'm not, because that was just kind of like I'm putting myself at risk when like I go out. That's my decision. So it's a bit different when you're like touring with and you kind of like you do want to keep yourself and the people that you're with safe. But
Yeah, yeah, it's very different when you're
It's a lot
solo,
more
but
opening up over here than it is over there.
yeah. Well, I guess England's doing great from what I've been reading.
Hmm.
Like in
Yeah,
yeah, in comparison to what it was like last winter for you folks.
yeah. I had Christmas on my own. It was great.
Oh, that's beautiful. Um, so I know you probably can't say this at all yet, but how long do you think till we get to hear a full, complete project, like a full length, an album?
Yeah. Hopefully next year, maybe like spring next year. Hopefully. We're working on it. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm excited about that. Yeah, a friend of mine that runs a club in here in San Francisco has been saying that he's desperate to get you guys to come to the States.
Yeah, that would be so nice. I don't know. We've been sent like forms for like our filling in visa forms, and it just seems so bonkers. Like, yeah, just filling in all these details. I can't picture myself ever coming and playing gigs, but I guess those are the chats that the grown-ups are happening having.
Having,
Yeah, hopefully we'll make it over. That would be amazing.
yeah, oh,
It'd be wild.
and spring will feel good. I'm hoping by spring we'll be in a state of like close to real normalcy. Maybe you actually will be able to high five a few people while you're here.
That would be nice.
So I begin and end all these with the same question that I give everybody. Um, and it's fun because you're like right at the cusp of a lot of insanity happening for you. At least I'm if I can
Hope
will to
and
the world.
potentially it seems to be going like exceptionally well. Like can't believe the response that we've had off of like just one single is wild.
Yeah. So if you got into a time machine and went back to the ice cream shop and talked to you, what would you tell you about what the few years of after you leave Ice Creamery? What would you tell yourself about like you finding music and how successful you would become very quickly with your music?
Oh, what would I tell myself? Um, Probably don't freak out. It's gonna be okay. It will work out. It's like don't know, it's kind of easier said than done, isn't it? So don't freak out. It's a very freaky time when you're like when you're 18 and working at an ice cream shop and don't know what you're doing. So maybe I wouldn't say don't freak out because that would be a bit that would probably be lost on me.
Yeah.
I'd probably say can I have a Mr. Whippy with a flake?
Yeah. I'm realizing how freakish it would be for me if I was standing there and slightly older me came and just walked into the room anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, silly question. What was your preferred order at the ice cream shop?
Preferred order.
Hmm.
Oh, like an order. Oh, I like it when people would order. So we'd also make donuts as well. And so my favorite, yeah, my favorite thing to do is take this horrible donut mixture that you mix with water and you cut it into the little shapes. So yeah, when people order donuts, I'm like, I'm on it. Don't worry, guys. I got this one. Um, but also when you get to use the like the Mr. Whippy machine. Do you guys call it a Mr. Whippy in the States?
I don't know what a Mr. Whippy is, so describe to me what a Mr. Whippy is.
It's like the ice cream that comes out, you like pull it down and it looks like a little poo.
Oh, we call it soft serve here, which
Oh, so yeah.
which describing it as a little poo. Golly. our name for it is almost as cringeworthy as wet leg.
Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Whippy though, that's quite I've actually
Yeah,
never thought about it.
yeah. I think we've come to the realization that everything is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good,
just
isn't it?
man. Yeah, I'm really happy that it's called Mr. Whippy there. That's such a better name than soft serve.
Soft serve sounds like a band.
Mm. Yeah. Wait, did you say band or bland?
Band sounds like a band.
It would,
So loved their first album.
I thought it was kind of bland, but their second record was the shit. Uh, Thank you so much for taking the time out for me. This was super fun.
Yeah, it's very nice to chat to you. Thanks for having me.
Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D.
Hi, I'm Michelle Varay.
And I'm Kimberly Trung, and we are the host of Crush Fictionally, a podcast all about your favorite fictional characters from movies, TV shows, and more.
Each episode, we pick a theme, curate a list of characters that we love, why we love them, and some fun facts about the people who created them.
So if you've ever felt a true connection with a fictional character,
Tune in to Crush Fictionally on Campfire Media.
or wherever you find your podcast.
I'd like to thank Rhian once again for coming on to the show. And yeah, I know that there is definitely more wet leg news coming very, 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 very soon. In fact, if you're reading the text related to this episode, there's a good chance that that text knows more information about what's going on with the band than the person speaking, uh, because the text will be written by a future self as opposed to a past self. Uh, Thanks again for listening and have a wonderful everything. Oh, I forgot to tell you to crack open a mango white claw. So uh, drink it now and then go back and listen to the episode again. It'll be much more enjoyable. Bye.